Hi, this video is going to be about the reason for my hypersensitivity, what was happening in my body, and why I become so hypersensitive after stopping all medication and relying completely on deep brain stimulation or my pulse generator, or this. You can't really see it in the video. Anyways, and I'm a little fat. So I guess if I were to lose a little more weight, you'd see it easier. You'd see it better. Anyways, July 25th, 2018, I was talking with my PDoc, Dr. Krupia, which is PDoc is internet lingo or jargon for psychiatric doctor. I don't like the word psychiatrist because it's too close to home for me, and it's just too serious and it's just really hard to take. Really hard to take. Not that you have to go to a psychiatrist, but it reminds me of everything bad about my disease, which is everything. Everything is everything. Anyways, I prefer the word PDoc, which is internet lingo for psychiatric doctor. And I always, in my emails to Dr. M or Dr. McKenna, I always say Dr. M, PDoc. Anyways, Dr. Krupia tells me, or Lumi as her name, as we call her, among her associates, close associates and friends, or people who've known her for a while, like me. Anyways, she told me July 25th, 2018, that she wanted to know what was going on with me, why I had been in my room a whole month without being in contact basically with my family, my in-laws anyway. And because I lived with them. They took care of me for a very long time. Anyways, she's like, I want to know what's going on with you, why this change in conduct and habits. So besides the fact that you needed a battery change, besides the fact you needed a new battery in your pulse generator, in your DBS, in your neurostimulator, neuromodulator, neurotransmitter, or however you want to freaking call it. I'm going to hospitalize you, and we're going to find out why you're so hypersensitive. Because I came to the appointment with... Okay, I'm going to show you how I came to the appointment. One moment. One moment. I came to the appointment with these. Okay? What do you think this is? I came to the appointment with sunglasses like this, well, darker than these, okay? Because these you can see through them a little bit. I wasn't touching anything. When I had the appointment with Dr. M, Dr. McKenna, that day, because I usually had an appointment with Dr. Krupia and Dr. McKenna, or Dr. M, or Lumi and Dr. M. I love my researchers very, very much. They have my heart. So I came to the appointment with sunglasses on. I had, let me see if I can find it. Where is it at, dude? You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I had sunglasses on. I wasn't touching the table because I couldn't touch anything. I couldn't touch anything at all. Not even this. A keyboard. Not even a keyboard. I couldn't even look at a computer game that my son played with without my eyes just blurring and getting dizzy and nauseous and like, oh my God, I can't look at this screen. It's going too fast. It's going too fast. In fact, one of my psychiatrists from Saragossa, when he was showing me something on a computer on a computer screen in his office one day that month, I said to him, please don't do that. And all he was doing was showing me a map of a place that I needed to find in Saragossa. And when he logged in to the computer and the screen came online, the screen, popped up in the window popped up in the screen. And it moved because the window, you know how maps move on Google Maps and all that, the application, the website. You can move them. And they move quite fast, to be honest. Maybe not for you, but when you're hypersensitive, your eyes just can't handle not even that speed. Not even that level, not even as slow as you might think they are. So anyways, Dr. Krupia, Lumi, her name is Lumi, said to me, I'm going to hospitalize you and I'm going to find out why you're so hypersensitive. That's basically what she said. That's not exactly what she said, but that's basically the message that she gave me. And so she hospitalized me, and she asked me that very day, have you had any psychotic symptoms? And I was afraid to tell the truth. I was very, very afraid to say that Monday before I had hallucinated, and it had not been fun. But I was afraid to say yes. It was Wednesday, as usual, July 25th, 2018. That Monday before, just 2 days before Wednesday, before that appointment, that night I had hypnological hallucination. I had a hypnological hallucination, which means I had a nighttime hallucination, which means right before you go to bed, you start hallucinating, and it just drives me off the wall when that happens, because you're about to fall asleep. You're about to fall into deep sleep, and you're about to just fall into this really, really nice soft sleep, and all of a sudden, wham, you hallucinate, and it's not fun. It's not good. It's bad, super duper bad. So I'm not going to tell you what it was, because again, that's personal, and I do believe you need to see more videos before I tell you that, before you can understand that. Because you might be the one to go out on a tangent instead of me if I tell you what it was. So I'm at the appointment on Wednesday, 2 days afterwards. I have hallucinated 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, okay? And before DBS, I would hallucinate a lot more. In fact, there's a video of me before the operation and after the operation, and there's a huge difference. You wouldn't even recognize me if you saw me. You wouldn't recognize me, this woman, this girl. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, you would not recognize me. And I don't know if I want to see that video, the one before the operation. I really don't know if I'm prepared to see it, because it would really, really hurt to see myself in such a bad state. So back to the point, off the tangent and back to the point. She hospitalizes me, and I'm scared shitless. I love that word. Maybe you have noticed that. Shitless. I'm scared shitless, and I'm scared I'm going to turn off. The medical device is going to turn off, and I'm going to become psychotic in 15 minutes. I'm scared to death. So I start sending messages to my researchers. I'm panicking. Yeah, I was panicking, really panicking, having panic attacks. And Dr. Sharo was the one who responded and said to me, don't worry, Lori, take this medication and you'll calm down. So I really tried to calm down. Anyways, this is what happened that Friday, after the Wednesday that I went to St. Paul, after that so peculiar appointment where Dr. Krupia tells me that I need an operation. Wow. Dr. Krupia had told me that she was going to see me that very week, that I was coming back that very week, and that I had weeks. That's what I understood anyway, that I had very, very little time left on my battery. So I understood from what she had said to me in that appointment on Wednesday, July 25th, 2018, I understood that she was going to call me and tell me, okay, Lori, you come in, you hospitalize yourself this day. You come in, we admit you. No phone call. No phone call from Lumi, from Dr. Krupia. Thursday comes. Friday morning comes. I haven't packed. I haven't taken a shower, gotten ready to go to the hospital in Barcelona, in St. Pau. 9:46 a.m. Uh-oh. Guess who it was? Dr. Krupia. And guess what she said? And how she said it. Lori, why aren't you here yet? You were supposed to be here at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what? And she says, when can you be here? When can you be here? I'm like, oh. And I'm like, I'm in Zaragoza. I haven't even bought a ticket, a train ticket, a high-speed train ticket. I mean, I have to talk to my husband. I have to tell him I need a train ticket, and I have to get one, and I don't know if there's going to be one. So when she heard how nervous I was, her voice changed. She changed her tone of voice, and she said to me, "Okay, Lori, call your husband in a half an hour. I will call you." So I talked to my husband, and I said to her, well, she called back in a half an hour, and she said to me, you have to be here before 2 p.m. And it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm in Zaragoza, and she's in Barcelona. And if you know Spain a little bit, you know that Zaragoza is about 3 hours. No, 4 hours. 3.5 hours by bus. Basically 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, depending on where you go and how fast you go, how fast you get there. And so I told her, I says, I can't be there before 2 p.m. And she's like, okay, calm down, Lori, calm down. Which made me feel a little better, because she wasn't as anxious and as nervous as she started out with in the phone call, as she had started out being in the phone call. And I would have called her a Catalan tigress, or a Catalan tiger, or lion, because she has this temper, and she believes in tough love. She's very sweet, very nice. I love her to death. She's the apple of my eye. But boy, when she gets serious, you better watch out, babe. Anyways, so she tells me, she says, Lori, I want you here by Monday at 11 o'clock a.m. in the morning. I'm like, okay. So I start looking for a train ticket. And it was Friday. And I had to be there by Monday morning for 11 a.m. 11 a.m. or before. I could not find a train ticket early. Right, I couldn't find a train ticket right at that time, so I had to go really early. I got there really early, and I called St. Pau. I said, "Do you mind if I come early?" And they're like, "No, of course not." So anyway, I hospitalized. I was admitted that next Monday, and which was, so you have the previous Monday, which is when I hallucinated 5 minutes. Okay, and I didn't know this, but the battery was failing. Wednesday, July 25th, when I had the appointment, and Dr. Krupia, or Lumi, told me that I needed a battery change. The Monday after July 25th, when I was hospitalized, when I was admitted into St. Pau for the battery change and to study my changes, the changes in my conduct. I'm admitted, and they say, okay, this is August. There's not a lot of people here. You're going to have a emergency slot in the operation room. What does that mean? It means that if this neurosurgeon has time, he or she will operate on you soon, or ASAP. If not, you're just gonna have to freaking wait. So they started preparing me for the operation. In spite of the fact that we didn't know when it was going to be. It could be at any moment. It could be that Monday. It could be in 5 days. And I was scared, very scared. Not of the operation, but of what would happen if I turned off. And let me tell you something. There's pretty much nothing people can do for me if I turn off. There's pretty much nothing you can do for me except for give me olanzapine or lorazepam, or medications that calm me down. That's it. That's all you can do. I love olanzapine. Anyways, that Monday, they say to me, take your clothes off, put the hospital pajamas on, we're going to change your bed sheets, no showers with regular shower gel, no soaps, no shampoos, no conditioners, no nothing. You have to take this special sponge, hygienic sponge that we're going to give you, and you have to wash your body down, and you can't eat, and you can't drink water. I didn't know what to expect. I thought to myself, okay, they're going to operate on me tomorrow, Tuesday, the next day. And it was Monday when they hospitalized me when I was admitted. All right. Tuesday comes. No operation. No one is called the psychiatric unit to say, Lori, come down and be operated on. We're ready for you. And it was just a half an hour operation. They didn't even really have to put me to sleep. Just a half an hour operation. I mean the device is like right under my skin in my abdomen. It's right under my skin. If you cut me open, it just goes out, pops out. Tuesday comes, the next day. Second day hospitalized in St. Paul. I'm hungry, I'm dirty, I smell, I feel like crap. And I look like crap. My hair's oily. I don't feel too good. And that Tuesday afternoon around 3 p.m. I started to hallucinate. And I'm not talking about 5 minutes, I mean constantly. And I had such a hard time. I remember when the nurses came up to me trying to be affectionate and trying to be compassionate and trying to understand and trying to show me love and affection and compassion and empathy and trying to make me feel better. One of the nurses said to me, are you seeing things? And I looked at her and I got pissed off because I thought to myself, everybody should know my case history. They should. They really should in St. Paul. They really should. But she didn't know that I don't see anything. I only hear things. I don't have visual hallucinations. I only have auditory hallucinations. And that's it. And thank God. Thank God I don't have anything else. Enough already. So I start to get nervous. I start to hyperventilate, whimper, cry, weep. I start to lose control. Does that mean that I was the typical stigma picture of violent and uncontrollable? No, it just means that when I say I start to lose control, I start to whimper, hyperventilate, cry, shake, just lose control of my emotions because I'm suffering so much. Tuesday goes. Tuesday at 5 o'clock, they give me a very, very simple meal because they know it's been almost 2 days since I've eaten and I've drank water. And on top of that, I'm sick. I'm hallucinating. Double whammy. No food, no drink. You look like shit, feel like shit, you smell like shit. Oh, and you're hallucinating. Finally, Wednesday comes. And I start to think about Lumi or Dr. Krupia, and I wonder where she's at because I haven't seen her since I've been hospitalized. And I know her schedule. I know her very well, at least as a doctor anyways. As a psychiatrist, as a researcher, I know her well. I know her schedule. I know where she's at. more or less. In general, I know where she's going to be at a certain schedule, a certain time. I start looking for her. So I go to the eating area, to the lunch area, the eating area, okay, where the tables are at, where you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. And I'm like this. I'm so nervous. I'm suffering so much that I have my head between my hands like this. Like that, shaking like that, okay? And I was shaking, and that hurts a little bit, by the way. I was shaking so much. And hyperventilating and crying so much that my neck became rigid. My neck was rigid. I couldn't move my neck. And I was hoping that Lumi or Dr. Krupia would come out of her office, because the doctor's offices were right in front. So you have the eating area on this side, and you have the doctor's offices, where the nurses go and the doctors go to see the patients. You have that on the other side, right in front of the eating area, which is right here, and the doctor's offices are right here. Okay, and all of a sudden, I see someone literally just appear out of the office door, and it was her. It was the apple of my eye. It was Lumi. It was Dr. Krupia. She appears like a fairy, like a magic fairy, out of the office doors. And literally, my perception of her was that she floated towards me like a ballerina. And I described that in my second book, My Deep Brain Stimulation Diaries. I described that in one of the stories in a very poetic way. And she appeared next to me. That's the way I felt, because I was suffering so much that I didn't notice how she had walked up towards me so quickly. I just know that all of a sudden she was at my side. And she looks down at me, because I'm like this. Like that. And she looks down at me. She's right here. I believe she's right here on this side. She's on my left side. And I had stopped crying, because I don't know why, but whenever I'm around Dr. Krupia, I can't cry. I just can't cry. I stopped crying, but I knew she had known. I knew she knew. Anyways, she looks down at me. She says with a very soft and blue velvet voice, "Estás muy nerviosa. You are very nervous." She looked down at me and said to me, with all my might, all the power I had, all the effort that I could possibly muster out of my neck, out of my heart, out of my chest, out of my body, I lifted my head up. I looked at her like that, and I said to her, "I can't deal with the voices." And I really didn't have the energy to move my neck, because I was suffering so much that all I could do was concentrate on fighting the disease, fighting the hallucinations, and keeping my sanity intact and not suffering. I was fighting the suffering. I was fighting the nervousness, the pain, the anguish. I fought like hell, like hell. And that was one of the reasons why it was so hard for me to concentrate when she spoke to me at that moment. Then she says to me something that made me very pissed off. Not at her, but at what it meant to me for who I am and what I am, what type of patient I am, what type of case I am. The fact that I'm a very, very special and difficult case, And she says something to me that pisses me off. She says to me, tenemos medicación. I look up at her with all the might and the muster and the courage that I could possibly just boil up out of my neck. And I say to her, what medication? And she just disappears. I think she knew that I had just come to my breaking point. The straw that broke the camel's back, as they say, as the cliche goes. But it wasn't a straw. Believe me, it was not a straw. It was bigger than that. And heavier. Way heavier than a straw. Next thing I know, about 2-3 minutes later, a nurse comes up to me and says, Lori, they're coming for you. They've called. They're going to operate on you. And you know what? Lumi. She had called the neurosurgeon. And pleaded for me to be operated on ASAP. I wrote about this in my second book. I wrote about her, how beautiful she was to me at that moment in time, and what she had, the compassion, empathy, understanding. That's a gift, and it's not something you learn. It's not something you learn at a university, at a high school, at a middle school, at an elementary school. It's not something you learn. It's a gift. And now my eyes are bothering me. So I wrote about her in my second book, my Deep Brain Stimulation Diaries. I'm sorry, but when you cry, your eyes can really irritate you. When they came for me, I calmed down. When they took me to the operation room, I calmed down. I remember what one of the nurses said to me when I was in the operation room. She said to me, so, do you want to be awake during the operation? I'm like, sure, I want to see everything. And the nurse looks at me and she says, I'm putting you to sleep. I don't know why, I don't know exactly, I couldn't, of course I can't read her mind, but I thought to myself, no, why did she have to change her opinion so fast? Why did she change her opinion all of a sudden? But as soon as I had said, oh yeah, I want to see everything, I want to see the pulse generator pop out of my belly, and I want to see what it looks like in real life, and I want to see what I have inside myself implanted. And the nurse looks at me and says, I'm putting you to sleep. I'm like, okay. So she gave me Valium. And I slept for half an hour. And I woke up with a clap, 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 clap. You know what that was? Staples. They were stapling where they had operated on me. They have to cut me open me up, take out the pulse generator, change the battery, and put it back in. And then they have to staple me. Clack, 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 clack. And you know what? When I was in the observation room after the operation, I remember feeling so good. And believe me, it wasn't the Valium, because Valium does not make me feel that way. Valium relaxes me, but it does not make me feel pleasure or good or well-being, as they say in Spanish, or bienestar, as they say in Spanish. And one thing stood out. Now, you know what that was? Silence. Pure silence. No hallucinations. None. Damn. The air was as clear as a blue sky in a tropical island, or the earth seen from the moon above. There was a beautiful silence, a precious gold silence. I heard nothing. Nothing. They were gone. The hallucinations were gone. The voices were gone. I stayed for about a week hospitalized. Week and a half. Another half an hour. I do believe that's it for this moment. Lumi, if you watch this, Dr. Krupia, if you're seeing this, you know I love you. Daishi Nishitai, as I say in Japanese. I adore you.